Well, we're really looking for ways, as you heard me talking to the young lady here, to try to get young people more interested in what we do at school. I think maybe the schools are not quite preparing kids for the next generation of jobs and also a global world. So we're really looking at reform in education now, so that it's not just it's doing something different with the dollars that we have. I'm concerned that there are more people in poverty now than there have ever been, and they're staying there longer. That's really why I'm here today and why I took the chairmanship of the Family and Children First Council. Most of the time when you're in, like the governor or first lady, people want to take you where things are really good and they want to show you what they're proud of. Ted and I both are worried about the fact that when we do that, we're not getting a true picture of the problems that people face. So through this position with the Family and Children First Councils, I'm coming out and I'm having conversations with people who are dealing with the problems of hunger and poverty, because the state has a responsibility to try to help in those areas.
Based on your direct involvement so far, how significant, by what you've seen, is the poverty problem here in Southeast Ohio?
This is actually the first council I've come to in Southern Ohio, but Ted, having served it as a member of Congress, I knew a little bit about it, and we've always known that there was a problem here, and that's one of the reasons why we've always contributed to the food bank program, just an awareness. But hopefully by being a part of this council and then Ted being governor, we can come up with more specific ways to deal with it. Of course, education is what Ted thinks is a key to being able to move Ohioans forward. It's not only moving Ohio forward, but Ohioans as well. So we are really putting a lot of focus on schools that really encourage young people to go farther in their education and think higher in the expectations of what they can accomplish when they get out in the work world.
A lot of schools here in this region really struggle financially, and you are making a push toward education, but how is the governor's office going to provide that funding to be able to execute the program successfully to get the kids the tools they need to move on to the next step?
Well, the first step is to get people to see what the schools should look like. Most people think that their schools are just fine. And when you go around, you find very few people that are really complaining about the school systems here in Athens County. For one thing, the teachers are very dedicated. They spend money out of their own pocket to bring materials, and so people know that the schools are doing the best they can do with what resources they have, and they're very proud of their schools. What they don't know is we're now in a global society, and there's some things that we need to be helping prepare our young people for. For 10 years, it's going to be, in 10 years, it's going to look different than it does right now. But we can't do anything about the funding part until we help people understand where education needs to go. And it's a conversation that's long overdue. So we've been having a series of meetings and a Governor's Institute to talk to people about the ideas he has about where education should go and getting their feedback. Then we will come around with regional meetings. We'll come back here to Athens and we will share with people what we have learned and see what they think about it. And once everybody understands where we need to go, then we think we can deal with getting the resources that are needed to get there.
Focusing just on poverty, though, what type of suggestions, recommendations, or solutions does the governor's office have for this problem in Southeast Ohio?
It's one where you have your agencies trying to put more into faith-based programs. He has a faith-based initiative or an office that's dealing with it. We're also trying to promote the food banks and then jobs. I mean, most of the problem with poverty is just trying to find work for people. he and the Lieutenant Governor are working really hard as they can to try to bring new industries in, as well as to hold on to the ones that we have. But through education, we are also trying to promote creativity and innovation in students so that more graduate with ideas of businesses that and business ideas that they have.
Now, is there anything else you wanted to say before we end this interview about the poverty issue?
Just that we know that we have to make opportunities for people to advance themselves available, and that poverty is one of those things that we have to start as a basic. Everybody needs to have the right to a good home or shelter and food, and so it is a basic need that we're definitely trying to address.